where I am defending against Salvador57, if I remember correctly. And I am going to kind of speed through this as a bit of a test. I did this already. There was no audio in the first video, and the second video didn't work out. So here we go. Without further delay, Salvador starts off with a classic E4 opening, and I respond thusly, and this is how the match goes until he brings his queen out, and this is the first interesting thing. He moves his queen within the first 10 moves of the game. He's eyeing down this F7 spot as though I were some amateur, and I believe this is his first mistake. So my bishop comes out trying to kick the queen, and the queen does indeed move. And now I position my bishop in order to continue that little kicking. He tries to kick my bishop, and he succeeds. I think he breaks his pawn structure here. I want him to chase me one more time so that I can run away here. Then after running away, his pawn structure is completely jacked, and he'll try to move down and continue kicking the bishop. I'll move this pawn on h7 to h6, creating a little cubby hole to hide the bishop in. And that then a bishop would have an extremely long range of fire and quite frankly be in a comfortable position. Anyway, without further ado, he brings out his bishop, probably looking to free up his knight and castle perhaps, or just defending his back pawn there. Who knows? Okay, I double O. My king is all safe and castled. He brings the queen to attack my g7, and although it looks like a weak spot, I promise you it's not. So I attack one of his pawns on the center there. He takes. My knight develops and takes at the same time. He moves his bishop down because the pawn is pinned, it can't take. And if the queen actually makes this move to g7, it's checkmate. However, my bishop is right there, so we block it. My bishop goes to g6. Now his bishop is forced to run, and I attack this other pawn, his central pawn. His knight comes down, and I continue with my plan now, having the added advantage of forking his bishop and his knight. And if his bishop takes, then my knight takes, attacking the queen, and we dance once more. He does take, I do take, attacking the queen. Queen moves just a bit out of the way, but is attacking my knight now. My queen comes out and says check. Yeah, check right there. And this is it now. I'm just trying to see. There are ways for him to get out of it, but eventually I'm going to force him to move before he castles, and he'll be stuck in the center of the board. If I can just get him to go to d1 here to bring my rook to d8 and put him in check and bring my rook out of this and into the game. Anyway, you stop talking. c3 is how he blocks that check. Knight comes down, taking advantage of that pinned of that pinned pawn, but I mean the bishop and the knight can take it. So I figure we're ready to do some sort of exchange here. And as I fought, the bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes, and then rook to e8. And I'm really barreling down on the king, and now my goal is to get my knight and my bishop out of the way and say check and begin squeezing him down. He brings out knight to d2, helping me get rid of my own knight. So I take with glee. He takes, and that's it. He can't castle. Now I know he's going to try to bring his rooks into play, and I don't want him to do that. So I say check, because this rank has been protected. He just moved into the bishop's line of fire. He moves to d1. My rook comes up to attack the queen and the knight, because if the rook takes this knight, the pawn is not out of place. I'm talking shit. I don't know if that's the greatest move, but let's see what happens. Queen comes down here, and from this position, his queen has relinquished this square, the h5 square, whereas the bishop could not move there to say check before. He left that behind in pursuit, it seems, of a pawn. And if he's trying to barrel down on the f7 square like he did in his first few moves, then we'll find that a lost cause, because the king is in play here. This is protected by multiple pieces, and so I'm not sure why he did this, but you know, I say check, and also attack his queen, and he takes with his queen instead of the pawn. I guess so. And at this point, it's obvious what happens. It's going to be rook to d8, pinning the queen down, forcing the queen to take, in which the bishop or my queen can go ahead and return the favor. So rook pins down that queen. Queen kills that rook. Queen takes, says check. King moves. Queen jumps in, because don't forget we got this bishop pair just barreling down here, and this move stops the king from running above, and I'm hoping to squeeze him into this cubby hole here, or to the other side where I can be on the c2 square and have, you know, the king squished up in here somewhere. So king moves to that back rank, and bishop says check, and this forces him to move. If we had gone the other way, I wonder if it'll let me do this shit. If it was queen here, he could have run. You know what I mean? And that's not what we want. You know what I'm saying? Because then it would be check. He runs in here, and then this rook is stopping us from chasing any further, and he's in the cubby hole. He's got his escape pattern. We don't want to do that. So bishop comes down instead, and that prevents the king from running anywhere. He must go to this square, and of course that's what he does, because that's all he can do. Bishop comes down and moves out of the way, putting him back in check, forcing him into this square here, and then queen gets right up in his face, and it's checkmate. That's how I defeated Salvador57. It took me a few tries, and after I beat him, I stopped playing him for a while. He was definitely a nemesis. But in this game here, a couple mistakes in the beginning, I think, perhaps beginning that I was desperately trying to destroy him. But anyway, thank you for listening.